everyone. This is Miles Hischier here. I'm founder of Hire with Miles, and I'm here with the Hire with Miles podcast today. We help companies scale by connecting them with top talent, top international contractors abroad. I am looking forward to my conversation today with Dean Curtis, CEO of Ingage. How are you today, Dean?
Good, Miles. Thanks for having me on.
Excellent. So just to start, I have to call out the obvious, the term contractors. So when I present like my value proposition to companies like, hey, I'll help you hire international contractors, I've never had someone come back and say, wait, we're actually in construction in the field. So yeah. I understand that term has a very different connotation, and it is contract labor. Versus in your world, it's actual like people doing contract work. Yeah.
Our primary customer segment that we sell to is home improvement contractors. So okay, it's interesting and a very easy confusion to make, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me more about your journey leading up to Ingage. What's your background?
Yeah, I started life as a classroom teacher. So I was a middle school math teacher, math and science, and I enjoyed it. I loved what I did. I always thought there was maybe more that I could do with some of the technical skills that I had. So I left teaching to get into high tech, starting with Oracle and a couple other companies. Moved through pretty high tech, pretty big companies until I finally landed at Apple. Spent about 8 years there, and then was really looking for a new challenge and had the opportunity to come to this smaller company and really make a transformation from, we were at the time pretty much a digital agency, to be more of a software company. Taking all the learnings that we had in that agency business and building a piece of software, which is what we sell to the market today.
Got it, understood. So having worked with customers for a long time, you obviously knew exactly what they need and probably had a lot of strong existing customer relationships. Did you develop your product with few customers initially and then sort of grow organically from there?
So what's interesting is we thought we knew what we should be doing, right? So we built a product that was iPad only for anyone to create a great presentation. And what we quickly learned was, while people want to do that, it was not a huge market where we could serve everyone. Like when your market is everyone, your market is actually no one, because it's too broad of a market. And we were very fortunate that someone came to our website and found us, and really that helped us identify a very good niche to go into to get product market fit, helped us really identify key features to continue to develop. And then before we knew it, we're all in on this market of home improvement, home services, and have a platform that helps those folks at the kitchen table to sell more.
Got it. And then what challenges were those particular folks having with existing products prior to finding you guys?
Yeah, I think a lot of it wasn't tech at all, right? So they were using paper, they were using flip books, or they were using outdated PDFs and PowerPoints. And what we did is we helped raise the level of professionalism that they had with the customer, right? When you're walking into someone's home to sell them something that costs $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, you need to build trust immediately. And through our platform, we allow that person to look very, very professional. And the biggest piece of that is consistency of the content that they're presenting to the homeowner. And a lot of the folks we work with have very detailed sales processes, and to control the flow of what information is presented to a customer through a platform like Ingage gives them that level of control from the company perspective. Like if I have a sales rep, I want to know that they're following our process. And it's an amazing experience for the end consumer as well, because the person is just way more polished. They're very confident in what they're doing. So we kind of struck that balance between beautiful, interactive, dynamic presentations and the ability to control what sales reps have and keep them on task in terms of what they're presenting to the end customer.
Got it. And then for your product, obviously there's a huge benefit for a larger home services company to maintain consistency across their sales teams. Tell me about roughly the target size of your ideal client. Is it a smaller home services business or one of the larger outfits?
We have customers from one salesperson to hundreds, if not
Okay.
thousands. And the ideal is someone who has 5 or more salespeople, because what happens when you have 5 or more salespeople, you typically have a support structure behind them. So you have someone who's looking after whether or not they're selling in the manner that you've trained them on. You have someone in marketing who's building content for them to use. You have a very strong brand. So you've invested more in the back end of your business when you have 5, 6, 10, 20 salespeople. You have infrastructure to support them. Those customers are pretty successful with our platform.
Right, great. And tell me, how have you structured, like with transitioning to this world of providing like software as a service, how have you built and structured your team internally, and is everyone geographically based in a certain area?
We call it a distributed company. So we went away from the term remote, because remote has an innate thing of I'm here and everyone else is there, right? So we want to build a very cohesive team, and by not calling it a remote team, by calling it a distributed team, maybe it's semantics, but I truly believe it makes a difference. It's not headquarters and everyone else. So yes, we have an office here in Pennsylvania, but we have employees. We call them team members. I don't like the word employee and manager. I prefer team leader and team member. Out in California, up in Washington, we have one person in Spain. We have one person in Argentina, Canada. So we're very geographically dispersed.
Great. And how roughly how large is the team today, and what are your growth plans by headcount for this year?
Yeah, so we have 40 team members today. My goal is to get to 49 by the end of the year. There's lots of rules that prop in when you get to 50 team members or more. So we're trying to stay small, stay lean, so we can continue to grow by not adding more than 9 this year. If we do, we do. No big deal. But the goal is to stay under 50 this year.
Yeah, I understand. There's always the growing pains if you add too many people too quickly.
That's correct.
And then thinking back about your growth with my IT company, I remember after we hired like 16, 17 people, that's when I started feeling the challenges of having a distributed team. And I'm wondering, at what point did you, if you did at all, find any challenges with like the distributed model as you guys grew through those different stages? And was there certain things you did to ensure that the company still felt cohesive and as one unit?
Yeah, I mean, at one point in the company's history, we were all in New York City prior to 2020.
Got it.
So the majority, I would say, were in New York City. We had some distributed folks in engineering, but the majority of the team came together quite regularly in our office in Manhattan. And once the pandemic hit, we decided that was probably best if we exited New York City and everybody started working from home. And then it also allowed us to hire people, the best people, no matter where they were. So one, we got economies in terms of the cost, because a New York employee is more expensive than one in a Midwestern city. So we didn't have the premium of New York. But what we've done is we've been very intentional about how we communicate within the company. Leveraging software tools. We have a really cool tool we use for all of our meetings where, agendas have to be in there. Anything that we could do to streamline communication, we've tried, not with always the greatest degree of success, but we continue to iterate and try to make sure communication is clear as we can probably make it. And our focus word in our company is clarity, right? And it's incumbent on you to raise your hand when things aren't clear. And I think that alone has helped us to ensure that no matter where you are in Canada and western part of the U.S., Northeast, it doesn't matter, that we're trying to be clear as we can in our mission and our vision and the daily things that you have to do. So that clarity of communication, I think, has been the number one thing that we try to consistently improve on, to build this distributed culture and make it work.
That's great. I love the relation. I was talking to another CEO about this, around the relation of clarity and quality. And in order to ensure like high quality like delivery from your team, there needs to be a clear messaging and clear directive that's very understood.
Yeah.
So I've always found that quite fascinating. Thinking like further out, like maybe beyond this year and beyond just the team members that you're adding, what are your goals, and where do you think about taking the company over the next few years?
Yeah, I mean, we've made a very nice niche here in the home improvement space. We believe that the problem we solve for folks who are selling in the home is not a problem that's unique for this industry. So we are obviously always looking at ways to simplify our product so that we could expand into additional markets. And a lot of the time here at the executive level in 2025 is going to be spent figuring out where is that next place that we can go, right? What is that next market where this problem that we're solving for home improvement folks, which we believe pretty well, could also be solved for other industries as well. So really growth by expansion into new markets, both on the periphery of where we are now. We have a lot of roofers and exterior modelers.
Got it.
What about siding and landscaping what about landscaping and fencing and all those things, right? That makes sense. But even just something completely afield from where we are, we're doing a lot of research around that right now.
Got it. And what trends are you seeing in the industry, in the home services industry more broadly, that are sort of top of mind for you right now?
Yeah, I think one thing is the home services industry saw a massive boom during the pandemic because everyone was stuck in their home and they looked around and they were like, man, I need a new kitchen.
Right.
Or boy, I could use some new siding, or I'm really tired of this bathroom. So there was plenty of leads going around, almost to a fault of like, hey, I don't need to follow up as fast because my lead buckets are full. I have all this backlog of work. And now the leads are maybe not as plentiful. So making the most of every lead is the number one thing that they need to do. I don't think that's unique to the home improvement space, right? I think as budgets get tighter, or as economic conditions become a little less certain for folks, their discretionary spending goes down. So are there other places where that same problem exists? That's what we're hoping to figure out too, is like maybe that same problem exists in other places as well, and we can help them.
Got it. And yeah, anecdotally, that is 100% true. I know my wife and I took the same approach to our home, and then having worked with different contractors in our area, there's this huge backlog.
Yeah.
It seemed like everyone could not find an electrician that was available, et cetera. So
yeah.
Great. Excellent, Dean. Well, I enjoyed our conversation today. What would be a good way for people that are interested in maybe in joining the Engage team, or potential customers that are interested in learning more about your platform? What's the best way to follow your company and learn more about your product?
Yeah, so obviously, I think a website is the first place to come. We have a lot of great content to help people understand what we do, see examples of it without having to talk to anyone. I know people like to do that, right? They don't always just want to pick up the phone and talk to someone. So our website is great. So it's Engage with an I, so INGAGE.io. And from there, you can explore, really help you understand the ability to create and share and measure, which is our highest level marketing message. But more importantly, then if you see something that is interesting, you can book a demo right there with our team. It's never a pressure demo. It's not a one call close world. It's we want to make sure you're a fit. We want to help you understand what we do. And at that point, if it's a fit, it's a fit. Also on our site, any open positions we have for people who are looking, we're always looking for great talent. And even if we don't have a position listed and you're a great talent, we always like to hear from people because you're only as good as the people on your team, and we're always looking to add great people to our team.
Great, excellent. All right, so I think that'll about wrap us up. Everyone, thank you for watching today. This is Miles with the Hire with Miles podcast. Once again, if you're interested in hiring top talent overseas contract labor, not contractors in Dean's world, please reach out to us via hirewithmiles.com. Thanks so much, Dean, for speaking with me today. Appreciate it.
Thanks.